All right. Yeah, I was going to do a short Fez. Here, let's look at the paper real quick, okay? Never miss a beat, huh? There's just one thing that caught my eye here. You know, all the rest of the news is just too depressing. The stuff with Libya going to war. One thing I was going to say, you know, and we on the left, we're critical of this country going to war, and then people on the extreme right are, you know, as far as the John Birch type people, libertarians, like we shouldn't be messing in anybody else's business. We should just keep to ourselves. Well, I think that's unrealistic. I'm somewhere in the middle. Yeah, sure, we're over there and we're, you know, oh, these revolutionaries, we want them to be free and everything, and I'm all for that. But what I was saying last week, I think, was that when this sort of thing happens in Africa, we don't do anything about it, really, you know. And but in this case, what's a little different than it was with George Bush, there's a consensus of other countries that are involved in this. We weren't the first ones to get in it, and even the Arab world wants us to be involved. So that's different. That's different than Iraq and Afghanistan. Even when George Bush, the thing with Afghanistan, I would have had to say, look, it's unwinnable to go into Afghanistan, but I understood why, because of 9/11. That's where the Taliban had ended up, and why we went into Iraq is a boondoggle. But anyway, like I said, and on this thing in Japan, it's depressing. They found a couple of dead workers, you know, that were missing. They found the bodies. But this thing, there's a fungus that's killing bats, and as a kid, we went to Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico, and I'll never forget it. And at the time, you know, Batman was on TV. I thought bats were really, really cool, and there might be a problem with bats that hibernate. This fungus is killing them, and one of the telltale signs is that they call it white nose syndrome. There's like this powdery white on their nose, and then prior, like and this is, I heard about this about a year ago, but there was some more news about it, that the Tasmanian devil, 90% of the population is gone due to some type of infectious cancer. Nature has its way of culling, you know, culling human beings with disease, and culling animals with disease, and for whatever reason. But sometimes you can't help but wonder if it's something that men are doing to upset the balance. In some cases, the bee thing, what do they call it? Something like colony collapse or something like that. There was a lot of theories that saying that it was brought on by pesticides or something that humans were doing. And so that caught my attention. And then there was this interesting story about in Huntington Beach, which reminded me of our Pacific Beach here in San Diego, where the problems they're having because of these venues. They're all restaurants and bars, and they're all concentrated in this area. And young people go there to drink, and I mean, it's for young people. I mean, all these crazy Jägermeister shooters and all these weird like Jello shooters and all that, and they go there and they tie one on, and they're drunk on the street, and people, and then there's neighborhoods around here on the fringe, and it happens in PV too, where you know, there's people pissing in your yard. People think that they think they're wandering into their own house, but they wander into somebody else's house, and I thought that was kind of interesting. So that's some of the stuff that I saw in the paper this morning. So anyway, well, hey, that was another Fez night. Hey, they can't all be gems. So anyway, hey, you all have a great week, okay? And see, sometimes there's a reason why some of you say, well, where's the Fez night? You know, be glad on those nights that I don't feel like doing a Fez night that I don't do it. All right, everybody. Have a great week. This is citizenkong. Cheers. And let me find a little button to push.